Hi, FBC co-founder Brianna Brown, coming to you from South Miami City Hall. And I'm super excited to be sitting with Steve Calle, who is the commissioner of South Miami. I actually know him very well. I'm cheating a little bit. He is my neighbor. He is my friend. And love him to death.
Our kids are also really good friends.
And our kids are good friends. So we're going to talk a little bit today about things going on in South Miami and things that Steve has aspired to do and kind of developments that are going on.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, by the way.
I'm going to start with, you started your term in 2022.
Correct.
It's going to ride out through end of 2026.
One more year, yep.
I think a lot of people are kind of wondering what's happening in South Miami. You know, Sunset Place has always been this key area, and we know it's kind of being developed. We'd like to hear what's going to, happen with that. And I think that also ties into what's going on with, Dadeland is building up, Coral Gables is building up, all these areas are building up. How South Miami is kind of competing with that, but at the same time staying with that small town, like very boutique-y home feel that everybody that lives there loves.
Well, I think the story starts when we all, there was a new commission, kind of new slate that came into board in South Miami. The mayor, myself, Lisa Bonich, which she was vice mayor at the time. She's still with us now, she's a commissioner. The idea is, what do we do to revitalize South Miami, right? When we were knocking on doors, a lot of the same people are asking the same questions. What is going on with Sunset Place? Why are shops dying? Why is it dead? Mm-hmm. And what people don't understand is that the livelihood, the blood and heartbeat of South Miami is our hometown area. That's where the majority of our income comes from, a city where we can give back to the residents, whether it's police, public works, making life better, right? That's what we're supposed to do as elected officials. Right. So then we all sat down and started thinking about what is needed, right? So one, we needed Sunset Place to actually thrive. So we worked with the developers that had just acquired it, they had two options. Either they work with us and help us really figure and imagine the city out, or they can go through the county. And what people don't understand is that you just mentioned that Coral Gables, Dadeland, South Miami, what do they all have in common? They're on the corridor on the metro stations. Right? So the county, what they've done is they've allocated RTZ zoning where they can go really high along the metro station. What they're trying to do is get people more off the roads and using public transportation.
Hence that big building that went up right there on US 1.
And there's multiple, yeah.
There's multiple now, but that one huge one, yeah.
And we will have one as well in South Miami.
Right.
Just because if we wouldn't have done it, they would have gone through the county anyway, right? Mm-hmm. The county could supersede us, right. Really. So we worked on it together to make sure that it's really a flow into the city. The other things that we've done in South Miami since the election is working on designing and developing a new Sunset Place corridor, Sunset Drive corridor, where we're going to have new landscaping, new pavers, just kind of like what Coral Gables, the Miracle Mile area. Mm-hmm. Something to that effect, but right. A little bit more homey, what we're trying to do. So we're working on that. And then lastly,
more pedestrian and like active, and
we want it to be active because we want people to come back into that area. So it's not only Sunset Place. We got to take care of the current stores that are there, that home feel, that local. And you're a store owner, and you're very homey. Like, we want that in South Miami across the board, and that's what we're known for. So little boutique shops, little jewelry shops, little cool restaurants, cafes, and stuff like that. That's what we have. We also have a really big clientele, which is the University of Miami and then Baptist hospitals and all the clinical stuff that we have. So I want those people to come back into South Miami, whether it's to have a drink, whether it's to have some food, to have some lunch, and then stay for dinner. And then maybe a late night drink at Boogie's or whatever, the place may be, where it's just nonstop a place to be. So I think that's what we've really been working on. Lastly, really big is this City Hall, right? City Hall historically has been here a long time. We're about to be 100 years old. No one's really thought about the future. It's more reactive. So what we wanted to do is be a little bit more proactive. And what we're doing there is really imagining what City Hall would look like for the next 40 years. So we're working on a new design. We're going to incorporate a PPP, a private-public partnership, where they're going to have a little bit more residential mixed use, but they build us back our new municipal center. So a new police station, a new city hall, new offices, more centralized, right on the, we're right next to the metro station.
Yep.
The underline, a park that's all inclusive. So it's a reimagination of the whole city, with in mind that we still keep our hometown feel. You'll see density in very specific areas, but what it's doing, it's protecting our residential areas where we live, where you live, right?
Yeah.
So that's the intent.
So, I mean, from my personal experience, being a store owner in Coral Gables, and I've watched what's happened with South Miami over the years, it's like you have these amazing little small businesses, but there's a lot of turnover because they don't have like the influx of people, which would be resolved from some of the things that you're talking about. But how else can you support those small businesses to make them thrive?
One, we need to create density, right? So the Grove has done a really good job of creating density around that area, and the Grove is back. Yeah. Like you walk there on Friday nights, it's a really cool atmosphere.
Nice hotels,
right? Apartments, offices.
Yeah.
And so that model works, and that's what people want. They want walkability. So we need to increase density. So we've done that, right?
Yeah.
So we increase density in very specific areas to feed into that. Secondly, we work intensively on marketing. So historically, the city of South Miami has not done anything with marketing.
Yeah.
You have seen that we've increased, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, because we've increased our visibility in our city. People are following us. People like what we're doing. We're the only city here in the last quarter that the prices in the area have gone up, where everybody's either flatlined or starting to drop a little bit. So it seems like we're doing something well.
Right.
We have a ribbon cutting today of new buildings going up in front of Casa Cuba. There's new building allocations that we're going to have in that specific area. People like to say, oh, it's another Dayland. That's not the intent.
Right.
The intent is that we keep the hometown feel, just have more people come in and enjoy it.
Yeah.
How do we do that? With making sure architecture, it looks good, making sure the sidewalks look great, parking is available, the restaurants, catering to the restaurants, right? A lot of people don't really pay attention to that, but us really working with different vendors and telling, hey, we're open for business, whether it's boulangerie, whether it's craft, or these really cool restaurants that are coming in, or what is it? The pizza place that I love. I'm drawing a blank, but those are the restaurants, those are the atmospheres, those are the things that we want to bring people in here and stay here and shop. And oh yeah, we have really cool boutiques. Oh yeah, we have a cafe.
Right.
So that whole inclusion, this whole master plan, is what we've really been brainstorming here for the last 3 years.
And I'm sure you've answered this many times, but kind of what is the plan for Sunset Place, and when do we think it's going to be executed? Because it feels like it's been going on forever, way before even you, right? There's been so many turnovers and craziness in that space. That place has a lot of history, right? Starting off with the Wholesome Bakery, and then the Bakery Center, and then Sunset Place. Unfortunately, times have changed. Things have gone different ways. The new idea, in which we've already approved, the zoning, the structure, even some of the site plan, what we see coming is that you'll have one dedicated big tower really close to the metro station, and it'll scale in. It'll have a lot of open streets, a lot of open area parks. It'll have retail, restaurants, hotels, a new theater, supposedly, parks, but also apartments, condos. So it's all walkability, it's all internal. The designer is a guy out of London. He created the little island in New York. He's created the vessel in New York, done Google headquarters in London. It's a really cool London-based firm that they're bringing this whole worldwide field to South Miami. And so we're really excited about the process and how it's going. They're into detailed design right now. They're getting construction documents ready to go. The idea is here that they start demoing here in the next 6 months. Okay. So it'll be it's a lengthy process. It's a big project. It's 1,500 different residentials,
A lot of things going on, so we'll see how it goes. But demo's supposed to start here in 6 months.
Yeah.
The process needs to begin.
The process needs to begin. And then hopefully, well, I assume you'll be reelected and be rerunning, and then you'll be able to see the full execution of this dream.
Yeah, I got my bosses that my bosses will tell me about if I deserve another shot or not. But
that's right. And your bosses are?
The residents.
All right. Thank you, Steve. We're going to come back with more questions with Steve shortly. Thank you.